Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. I know it's been a while since I made one of these, but I've been trying to focus on a couple other things, a little more photography related, like prints and workshops, and I'll leave a link to those down below if you're interested in any of that. But yeah, so I came out today to Little Cottonwood Canyon just outside of Salt Lake City, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of snow. It's one of those things, I think far too often we come out, we're trying to go to a spectacular location or kind of get a famous photograph, and that can kind of stymie you, kind of ruin your creative ability, that kind of thing. So I thought I would come out today. I really have no expectation of what I'm going to shoot. As you can see, we have a lot of snow, so I'm kind of thinking maybe something with this snowy stream. It's just perfectly untouched. It looks amazing. But I'll probably try to focus a little on this stream here. Maybe some abstract stuff, I'm not really sure. But yeah, we'll just wander around a little bit, or at least as much as we can. I keep falling into the snow and I can't get back out. So yeah, I'll show you if I find anything good. I'm just really today trying to focus on simplifying everything, especially with all this snow. It kind of helps, I can really isolate trees, isolate things coming up through the snow. I can really isolate this stream. It looks really bold, kind of running through all this snow here. It's much darker than the snow. So that's really my goal today. Minimalist, simple, and try to come away with a few shots that I really, really like. We have some really, really nice soft light right now. The clouds are kind of blowing in and out in front of the sun, and everything's super soft. So conditions are great. As long as I can kind of get around and keep myself from falling down too deep in the snow, I'll be all right. All right, I'm gonna try to do this and walk through the snow at the same time. So if you see me disappear, you'll know what happened. But yeah, so a second ago I was just talking about creativity and kind of sometimes our creativity gets stymied by the fact that we see these fantastic images on Instagram, and the ones that usually do well on social media are those famous locations. A bit of a hole. So I think it's easy to kind of hop on Google and say, coolest things to take a picture of in Utah or something like that. And when you do that, I think you have such high expectations that when you go out, you think, I need to capture this fantastic image every time. But that's not really the case. And I think my favorite images are not even close to those top locations that people talk about. They're usually the ones that I know I'm the only one that has an image of that tree, or I'm the only one that has a picture of that waterfall, or I'm the only one that has that composition, whatever it might be. It's really nice to know that you were creative and you created something unique that not many other people have. So that's kind of my goal today, is to just be creative, kind of look around, see what's different, because I know, I'll show you around right now, I'm just in this empty kind of snowy field. And honestly, it would be on no one's list of most spectacular places in Utah, but that's not because it's not beautiful. It's just not, it's not Zion, it's not Arches. But that being said, you can still create fantastic images and just absolutely spectacular scenes in an area if you're creative. So that's my goal today. I hope I don't let you down in finding something. But at least it's kind of fun walking through the snow. So I think I found my first composition here as I'm sinking into the snow. And it's nothing, like I said before, I'm not going for those spectacular landscapes right now. I'm just kind of looking for those intimate details, being creative, kind of using the snow to my advantage, because obviously snow's not around all year, so it's kind of fun to play with it. But I have these like kind of, I don't know what they are. They look a little dead, but they're kind of these yellowy little stalks with little puffy kind of, almost like flowers, but obviously they're not flowering at the top of them. And I'm going to try to arrange them in a way that, you know, I've talked before, I don't really love the rule of thirds, but sometimes it works. And in this case, I think it might work a little bit. So I'm going to try to arrange them in a way that they look kind of pleasing, and I'm just going to probably move around as much as I can. Again, I'm going to probably fall into the snow 10 times, but so yeah, I'll hop behind the camera, I'll show you the composition, and see if I can't kind of set them up in a way that it looks kind of nice. So I know a second ago when I was talking about this composition, I was saying I was going to use the rule of thirds because it might set these little tufty branches up to look kind of nice, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that actually. But anyways, yes, this is video, as you know, so it's a 16 by 9. So I've zoomed out a little bit so you can see kind of the whole scene. But my actual image will be a 2 by 3, and it'll be zoomed a little. I'll punch in a little bit further. So basically, I really like this one, this one, this one, and this one. This stuff at the top I don't really like, and I haven't exactly found a great way to position myself to get rid of it. I might try throwing on the 70 to 300, see if that can make a difference, and maybe focus on these three. Maybe shoot from slightly different angle over here or something. I'm not sure exactly. But anyways, this is what I'm going to go with for now. And I think, not a big Photoshop person, but I will clean this up a little bit in Photoshop and probably remove these branches just to clean up the scene, because I am going for that kind of minimalist look. So yeah, nothing too complicated here. I'll probably shoot it about f11 just for sharpness. I'm not too worried about depth of field here. ISO probably around between 50 and 100. You always hear kind of mixed reviews on whether it's just better to go as low as possible or use your kind of native ISO, which in this case is 100. I'll probably take one of each and see which I like better there. And there's not a whole lot of wind right now. These are buffering around just ever so slightly in the wind, so I'm going to be careful with my shutter speed. But other than that, it's a pretty simple image. I'm probably not going to post-process it too much other than just cleaning up that top part. So yeah, I'll put it on the screen for you and I hope you like it. Get out of this snowdrift here. Just finishing up taking that shot that I just showed you. And one thing that I didn't really think about that I was actually really struggling with is I have this really massive tripod from FLM. I have a big head on it. I love this thing. It's an absolute beast. But the snow's so deep. No matter how deep I extend this, like I'm having trouble getting my tripod up high enough. So I'm kind of having to pack down the snow under the tripod and use it as kind of like a platform. Yes, I hope you liked that first shot. I know it probably wasn't for everyone, that kind of abstract minimalist kind of thing, but I seem to be doing a lot of that lately and I really enjoy it. And while I was taking that shot, I noticed these, out in the snow, out in the winter, there's usually not a lot of color. We have some green in some of the pines. We have kind of that yellowy white of the aspen, and then we have that kind of pure white, almost blue sometimes, of the snow. But we also have, right behind me, you see that? Those kind of fiery red bushes. I don't actually know what they are. I don't actually know what they look like normally either, but they look pretty cool in the winter. So I'm gonna try to hum around here. You can hear them blasting in the distance for avalanche over at Alta or Snowbird probably. But just sunk into the snow. Okay. Yeah, so they're just absolutely fire orange. And I might try, this is going to be very abstract. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but I'm definitely going to zoom in, get right in there because they're so thick, get that nice orange color. Might throw on the 70 to 300, depending how close I can get with this deep snow. But I'm either going to take that kind of like a sharp, just abstract, a lot going on probably. But I think the kind of it'll be kind of monochrome, so that'll help with the chaos. But I also might try some ICM, you know, that intentional camera movement photography, where I'm probably gonna set the shutter maybe half a second, kind of bump my camera up and down and see if I can't blur out those limbs a little bit. And that might get a really kind of super abstract, kind of painterly almost kind of image. So we might try a little bit of that. But yeah, I'm gonna hop in there, see if I can't, you know, build my little snow platform, set my tripod on, and I'll try to get a shot here. Get myself stuck in a minute. I just want to get just in here. Is that too much? It almost looked more orange from the other side where it was, kind of over by that other competition. Might have to go back around there. The sun's also disappeared a little bit. It's probably not quite as vibrant. Yeah, we're gonna go back on the other side. If I can get out. So I ended up shooting that with my 70 to 300 just so I could punch in a little further. I was kind of having trouble getting in there in the snow. And I'm not really sure how that turned out. I tried some with a kind of shallower depth of field. See if that's gonna work. I'm not sure. I tried some ICM. I have a feeling the ICM shots are gonna be my favorite there. But hey, I'm glad I tried it. I don't really think it worked too well, but you'll know you'll have seen the image before I do. But I'm glad I tried it. Did a little ICM, which is always kind of fun. Get you in the get the creative juices flowing. Anyways, I'm gonna try to find a couple more shots here before I head out. I'm sure there's got to be something. We got all these aspens here, and they're kind of contrasted against the darker pines in the background. I think there's got to be something there. So I'm gonna kind of poke around in the trees a little bit and see what I can find. Exhausted. I swear I sweat more walking through the snow than I do in the summer. It's tiring. So, that group of aspens I was looking at in the distance over there, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. It's just too incredibly difficult to get through the snow here. I think on my way home, I'm gonna stop and pick up some snowshoes because I'm looking like a little bit of a fool right now trying to get through this snow. Alright, so I think I found my little cluster of aspens here. And what I'm going to try to do, and I'll show you in a second once I get behind the camera, but I'm going to try to line them up in a way so that you can't see anything in the background. So I'm probably going to throw the 7300 on and kind of line them up so they're kind of staggered, like boom, 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 boom. And just really get in tight so it's just solid aspen trees. Just focus on that texture on the bark and the color and everything. We have the sun just kind of poking out behind the clouds right now too, so we got this really soft, like kind of almost side light. And it's almost kind of the sun, and you got all this snow and all this kind of reflective surface. It kind of bounces around off the snow and it's just lighting it so nicely. So don't quote me on this, but this is the shot of the day, okay? All right, so here's roughly my composition. I have these four aspen trees here lined up so that you can't see through them. And right now you're seeing a 16:9 crop, but I'm probably going to end up cropping it as a square. Thomas Heaton would probably be proud of me, but I'm not sure yet. But I will crop in those edges because I just want it to be those 4 aspen trees. And I'll probably take a shot. You know, I'm standing waist deep in snow right now, but I'll probably take another shot where I get in a few more steps just to see if I can take it without that crop, just in case I like that 2x3, or maybe even a 16:9, or more like a Pano 2x1. I'm not sure. I'll give myself options. And I think that's important to remember. You don't want to limit yourself in the field. You can always change that in post. So you want to give yourself options so that when you get it back on the laptop and maybe you don't like something you did, you still have an option to go with something else. But this is super simple here. Like I said, I'm just making sure I have no gaps in between those 4 aspen trees. I'm also watching the markings, the knots on the aspen trees, like my finger, like this one, and just making sure I don't really cut any off because I really like those markings. I think that looks really cool. So I kind of want to make sure I include all of that. Another thing here that's probably of note is I'm shooting this at 300 millimeters. So depth of field is really going to be a problem. And I don't want to go crazy aperture like an f/28 or f/29 just because we're going to start to get some funny diffraction and things like that. So I want to keep it f/11, f/13 because that's where I'm at my sharpest. And I'm probably honestly just going to take 4 shots. I'm going to focus stack each one of those aspen trees. Put them together in post. It should be pretty easy. And that'll be my final shot. So I'm going to get on with it though, take a few of these shots. I hope you like it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end things there. I'm probably going to stick around for a little bit. I'm having way too much fun playing around in these aspen trees. But thank you so much for watching today. It's been really fun for me kind of playing around in the snow, even if it is a little bit difficult to get around. But if you enjoyed that, consider hitting that subscribe button and that like button. It really helps me out. And if you hit that subscribe button, you'll know when I post new videos. I have a really fun one coming next week where I might try some wildlife photography, which I haven't actually done before at all. So that should be interesting. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.